Welcome to our big fat Greek honeymoon. Part 8, Pompeii. Our final destination on our cruise was Naples, Italy, and while there were many things that we could have seen and done in Naples, Greg and I both really wanted to see Pompeii. What are we doing, Greg?
Visiting Pompeii.
Visiting Pompeii? Nice. So we hopped on a bus that took us over to this amazing archaeological site. Our first stop was the Gladiators Barracks, and this is an area where the gladiators used to train. Our tour guide actually mentioned that our idea of tall, strong, muscular gladiators is not correct, as people back in that time were a lot smaller in stature. She described gladiators as actually being short and fat. Fun fact. Next up on the tour was the Great Amphitheater. It is the oldest surviving Roman amphitheater that could seat up to 20,000 people. This was obviously really well maintained. You can see the original marble steps on the floor. And this one was unique, as Greg and I had seen other amphitheaters on this vacation, but this was the first one we were actually allowed to go up into the stands. So we actually ended up getting some really great pictures of this one. After that, we actually hit the streets of Pompeii, and you can see these amazing cobblestone pathways in between some more smoother walkways, and the cobblestones kind of act as a waterway where they would basically wash the streets with all of their, let's say, plumbing. This was also a way for carts and carriages to pass through the streets, and you can kind of see some of the indentations in the cobblestones from the chariot wheels. And since the city of Pompeii was so well preserved, there are many instances where you can see the original stucco on the walls. Here's a great picture of some ancient food stands, which are very common around Pompeii. Our tour guide called this ancient McDonald's. Next up on the tour was the famous house of Menander, which was believed to be the home of an aristocrat or government official. This family was believed to be very wealthy. And as you can see, this house was beautiful. You can definitely see the original stucco wall, the colorful frescoes, and just how wonderful this space was. Now I will say this, not all of the stuff was completely original. They added the wood roof just to kind of give visitors a sense of what this place really kind of looked like back in the day. But along with that, you see the original colorful stucco walls. This gives you a sense of what the garden would look like. As some of you might know, Pompeii's history really is attributed to the eruption of Mount Vesuvius that erupted in 79 AD. This eruption lasted for 2 days, starting with a rain of pumice, followed by a pyroclastic flow. This encapsulated the entire city, leading to its tragic demise. However, the silver lining is that the layers protected it from the air and moisture, which basically makes Pompeii arguably the best preserved site of Roman history. It really gives you a sense of how Romans lived their daily life. Pompeii is obviously a massive archaeological site. Only 2/3 of the site has been excavated, with excavations still ongoing to this day. After the House of Menander, we went to visit the Stabian Baths, which are the most well-preserved public baths and really kind of gave you a sense of Roman culture. The tour guide said that this was also kind of some sort of gymnasium where people can train, take a bath, and basically socialize publicly. And then we got to see one of the plaster figures that Pompeii is kind of famous for, basically showing the moment of when this young woman died. From there, we took a trek to one of Pompeii's most popular sites, the Lupanar, which translates literally into wolf's den. This was a brothel, and our tour guide said the women used to howl like wolves to attract the men from all over the city. And inside, you can see a couple of beds that didn't really seem too comfortable. And also on the walls, given that people didn't really read or had language barriers, there were several frescoes that, shall we say, were the menus of this brothel. And speaking of illiteracy and language barriers, here is a signpost outside of the brothel pointing to its direction. We ended our tour by visiting the Forum, the central public square of Pompeii, which was the heart of the city's commercial and social life. It's a very large open area surrounded by important public buildings, temples, and markets. We only had a 2-hour tour in this place, so we definitely didn't get to see everything that we could see, and I could definitely spend a week just exploring this ancient site. Greg and I have seen a lot of amazing things on this journey, but Pompeii was definitely at the top. Anybody that wants to go visit this site would totally recommend. Stay tuned for part 9, Rome.